ربي زدني علما ربي زدني علما ربي زدني علما. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. My dear students, I have uploaded video number 1, episode number 1, that is about literary devices and figures of speech. So, I have told earlier that what is the difference between literary devices and what's the difference between figures of speech. And this is the second part of literary devices and figures of speech, in which I'm gonna give you all the examples with the picture description, and you can understand it very well, and you can pass any exam if you are appearing in any exam of HSSC, SSC, or any other competitive exam. So you can find out and you can figure out all the literary devices very easily. So the first one, the Assyrian came down like a wolf on the fold. This is the picture of king of Assyria, whose name was Sennacherib. So he was the king, and he attacked Jerusalem in 701. At that time, Jewish community was living in Jerusalem, and he attacked on that community. The fold here is this. In this picture, you can see this is the place where sheep are kept, and this is also called a pen where sheep are kept for their protection. So, just like a wolf is attacking on the pen of the sheep, Assyria attacked on the Jewish at that time. And in this picture, you can see the location of Assyria. It is close to Egypt. You can have a look at this map. Assyrian army is compared to the wolf attacking sheep, that is suggesting suddenness, ferocity, and destruction. As you know, when someone is attacking on the other state or community, that is the action of suddenness and ferocity, and destruction is seen everywhere after this attack. Next one is the righteous shall flourish as the palm tree. What is the meaning of the righteous? Righteous means a person who is very upright, who is very just, honored, and who is very virtuous. And shall flourish. Flourish means he can progress. As the palm tree. Righteous people are compared to a palm tree, symbolizing strength, uprightness, and continual growth even in harsh condition. As compared to the palm tree, just like a palm tree, if you are a righteous person, means you are morally right and you are not corrupt, you are upright, you are virtuous. No one can harm you, no one can be a hindrance in the prosperity of your life, and no one can be a barrier in your life. You will flourish just like a palm tree. The third one is, as a hart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O God. Hart is a male deer, and panteth me breathes heavily or long intensely, especially because of thirst or exhaustion. As the hart panteth after the water brook. So this is the simile here. The speaker's soul is longing for God is compared to a deer desperately longing for water, showing deep spiritual need and desire for being closer to God. Hard panteth means a deer's desperately longing for water, breathing heavily due to thirst and weariness. This line is taken from the Holy Bible, books of Psalms 42:1. It is traditionally attributed to King David and expresses deep spiritual longing for God, comparing the human soul's desire for God to a deer's thirst for water. The fourth example is, words are like leaves, and where they most abound, much fruit of sense beneath is really found. Here, simile is like leaves. It is a simile that is used by the writer. So, words are compared to leaves, and that many leaves but little fruit suggest too many words with little meaning or wisdom. Abound means to exist in large quantities, means plentiful or full of something. To have a lot of something means. Here, words are compared to leaves, just as a tree may have many leaves but little or no fruit. A person may use many words but express very little meaningful thought or wisdom. The line suggests that talkativeness often hides a lack of real understanding, while true sense and wisdom are usually expressed in few well chosen words. Here you can see in the picture, like there are many leaves, you can see a little fruit in it. The fifth example here is in front of you. How far that little candle throws his beam, so shine a good deed in a naughty world. So, simile here is so shine a good deed. This is the simile used by William Shakespeare and The Merchant of Venice, that is the play written by William Shakespeare. Good deed is compared to a candle shining in darkness, meaning even small acts of goodness stand out in a bad world. Naughty means the world that is full of mischievous people or playful people, but it means wicked, corrupt, or morally bad world at that time. Okay, at that time of William Shakespeare, means a world full of wrongdoing where goodness is rare. Just like a small candle gives light far beyond its horizon, its size, especially in darkness, in the same way a good deed, even if it seems small, spreads goodness and stands out clearly in a naughty, wicked, and immoral world. The comparison shows that good actions have great influence, and even a single act of kindness can brighten and improve society, just as a candle lights up darkness. So, the sixth example is given in front of you. Life is as tedious as a twice told tale, vexing the dull ear of a drowsy man. These lines are taken from As You Like It. Here, the playwright has used the simile as tedious as twice told tale. Okay. Um, Life is compared to a story told too many times, suggesting boredom and wearisome. Vexing means that is annoying, boring, or causing irritation and worry, something that makes you feel upset or frustrated. It was vexing to solve such a difficult problem. Drowsy means you're feeling sleepy or tired or feeling ready to fall asleep, feeling like you want to sleep. In example, you can say, the warm afternoon sun made me feel drowsy. Just as a person becomes impatient listening to a repeated story, one may feel tired or frustrated with the routine or dull aspects of life. So, a seventh example, the thy soul was like a star and dwelt apart. Thou hadst a voice whose sound was like the sea. These lines are taken from the sonnet London, written by William Wordsworth in 1802. The similes that are used here, like a star, like the sea. The soul is compared to a star, suggesting brightness, purity, and distance. And the voice is compared to the sea, suggesting depth, power, and majesty. Dwelt apart here means lived separately or stood alone, away from others. In figurative sense, it can also mean someone was morally or spiritually elevated and different from ordinary people. Literally, you can use this in sentence like, he dwelt apart from the village in a small cottage, means he is living far away from other people. Figuratively, his soul dwelt apart, shining with virtue, means he is man of virtue. In this poem, William Wordsworth addresses the poet John Milton, praising his noble character and lamenting the moral and spiritual decline of England in his own time. In these lines, Wordsworth compares Milton's soul to a star, suggesting purity, greatness, and moral elevation. The phrase dwelt apart shows that Milton stood above ordinary people due to his integrity and high principles. When Wordsworth says, Thou hadst a voice whose sound was like the sea, he means that Milton's voice was powerful, deep, and influential, like the vast and commanding sea. Overall, the poet admires Milton as a strong moral force and wishes that such a noble personality could return to guide society again. Oh, my love's like a red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love's like the melody that's sweetly played in tune. These lines are taken from the poem A Red Rose, written by Robert Burns in 1794, and he has used similes like a red rose, like a red rose, and like the melody. These are the similes used by Robert Burns. Here he is comparing love to a red rose to show beauty, freshness, and compassion and passion. Love is also compared to sweet music to show harmony and pleasure. Burns expresses his deep and sincere love for his beloved through simple and natural imagery. The poet compares his love to a red rose, newly sprung in June, which symbolizes freshness, beauty, youth, and purity. The mention of June suggests that the love is at its fullest bloom. He then compares his love to a sweetly played melody, emphasizing harmony, sweetness, and emotional pleasure, that he is getting pleasure from his love. Through these comparisons, Burns shows that his love is beautiful, pure, and deeply moving, using simple language to convey strong and lasting emotions. The following are some common examples of everyday speech as mad as March here. It means very crazy, behaving in wild or strange way. In old England, people noticed that hares, a type of rabbit, acted very strangely during March, which is their mating season. They would jump, run around wildly, and behave aggressively. Because of this, people began using the phrase to describe someone who seems out of control or extremely excited. For example, he was laughing, shouting, and dancing around, mad as March here. You can use this in this sentence. As proud as peacock means extremely proud, often showing off. Just like the feathers of peacock are very beautiful. As bold as brass, very confident, daring, sometimes shamelessly rude. As tough as leather, very strong, durable, are able to handle hardship. As crystal as clear means very easy to understand, perfectly clear. As good as gold means very well behaved and obedient, often used for children. As good as gold. As old as the hills means very old, existing for a very long time. As cool as cucumber means very calm, relaxed, even in difficult situation. Now about the feelings or personality, some of the similes are used and these are mentioned here. As happy as the lark. Lark is a bird and this is the bird that is called the lark. As brave as a lion, as gentle as lamb, as stubborn as mule. Mule is an animal, a mix of horse and donkey, just like this you can see in the picture. As sly as fox, as quiet as mouse, as wise as an owl, as nervous as a cat. About appearance or condition. As white as snow, as black as coal, as thin as a rake. A rake means it is a tool used in gardening to gather leaves or to level soil. That is very thin or skinny. In this picture, you can see this is the picture of rake. As fit as a fiddle. Fiddle is also another name of violin, a musical instrument that is very healthy and full of energy. As blind as bat, as fresh as daisy. Daisy is a kind of flower you can see in this picture. So, about speed or movement. As fast as lightning, as quick as flash, as slow as snail. Snail is a small animal that moves very slowly and carries a shell on its back. This is a snail. About strength or toughness. As strong as an ox, as tough as snails, as hard as iron. Now, about cleanliness or clarity. As clean as whistle means very clear, very clean or spotless. As clear as day, as bright as sun. About silence or sound. As silence as the grave, as louder as thunder. Wow. Very important note that you have to know about simile is a comparison of two things of the same kind is not a simile. So, what is this then? just like in this example, you can see simile compares two different kinds of things using like, as, or so. For example, her smile is like the sun, means the person versus sun. Her smile is compared to the sun. In the second example, same kind comparison is not simile. For example, her face is like her sister's, means a person is also compared to a person. It is simply called a comparison, analogy, or statement of resemblance. So, this is not the figure of speech, and such a comparison is called metaphor, direct comparison, or more specifically, an internal comparison depending on the context of the sentence. That was all about simile. Inshallah, in the next lecture, I will share about metaphor. That is the next topic. Till then, Allah Hafiz.